Today, I'm gonna give you step-by-step every single ChatGPT prompt that you need, copy and paste, in order to build a successful cold email campaign. I'm gonna start first with how ChatGPT fits into the overall strategy of a successful email campaign. Then I'm gonna go through what ChatGPT is and isn't and when to use it. Then we're actually gonna create a cold email campaign from scratch together, entering in the correct prompts inside of ChatGPT. And then finally, I'm gonna show you my favorite tool to use in conjunction with ChatGPT in order to make sure my email campaigns have the highest chance of success. During this video, I'll be referencing this Google document that has all of the ChatGPT prompts already written inside of it for you just to copy and paste. So if you wanna get access to that totally for free, make sure you click the link below in the description. So first, let's start with how ChatGPT fits into the overall email campaign strategy. So this is the outbound funnel graphical representation I create for our clients. And there's really 4 different pieces to a successful email strategy. The first is choosing the right audience, which I have plenty of videos on that, but deciding who you're going to be sending this email to. We want to always start here because even if you have the best written email copy and you're the best person in the world at sales, if you're sending it to people that aren't qualified, if it's falling on deaf ears, then it's essentially useless. So we want to make sure we spend some time here getting very high quality leads and email addresses to make sure that our campaign has the highest success of reaching somebody who would be not only interested in what we have to offer, but qualified enough to be able to afford it and work with us. The next step is going to be messaging, and that's actually what we're going to be focusing on in this video right here. We're going to use ChatGPT to create world-class direct response messaging following the prompts I'm going to give you. And then as we're sending the emails out, we're going to be slowly getting feedback from the people that we're sending the emails to. And that will let us know how much do we need to refine the messaging or maybe even refine the audience that we're sending the messaging to. And then the final 2 stages of a successful cold email campaign, the part that nobody likes to talk about, is the actual sales process, right? What happens when somebody says, yes, I want to speak with you, or they book a call on their calendar? Well, what I like to do is follow a 2-step sales process for cold email campaigns specifically, in which the first one is a 5 to 15 minute discovery call, just confirming that this person is who they said they were or is who you thought they were, validating that they are qualified before you would then set them up for a demonstration call, the actual sales call, which could be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, but you want to make sure you have the discovery call first, so that way when you go in for the full 45 minute to an hour sales call where you're giving them the true pitch, that you're not wasting your time and that they're qualified enough to be able to purchase your products or services. And a little bonus tip for you here is when you're scraping those emails online, make sure you use a software that also gives you their phone number, so that way if somebody responds back positively but doesn't book a time, you can actually outbound dial those people in order to set them up onto a discovery call, inevitably leaving them to a demo call. So now let's dive into ChatGPT and how we're going to be using it. So in case you've been living under a rock recently, ChatGPT has taken the world by storm. I think they had like 5 million signups in the first 1 or 2 days of the launch, but it is essentially an artificial intelligence software by a nonprofit company. So you can do this totally for free. All the tools I'm showing you are free online. And what it allows you to do is ask it essentially any question that you want in the world and get a response. Now, as you can imagine, it is a tool. It's not going to make you a better marketer just by having ChatGPT. You need to know the right questions to ask it in order to get the right answers that will make you a better marketer or a better business owner or a better copywriter. So I'm going to be giving you those prompts inside of here, but I think a mistake a lot of people make is they think that, okay, I have the world's knowledge at my fingertips here, then I'm invincible. Nothing could ever go wrong. And while that is true to some extent, in reality, if you don't know what to ask it, for example, if I just asked it, what is today's date versus, here, write me a multi-million dollar cold email campaign, those are going to have some very different results. So we want to make sure that not only are you using the prompts that I'm giving you in this video here, but over time, you're actually refining those prompts further and further and further to be making them more effective, thus asking better questions and really creating an endless world of possibilities of what what you could do with this. Okay, so let's get started with these prompts. So step one is going to be to enter a prompt to create a personalized cold email subject line. We want to make sure that we're focusing a specific prompt on the subject line because in reality, I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, the subject line is in some ways the most important part of your cold email campaign. If you can't get somebody to even open your email, then you have a very low chance of getting a high enough response rate to have a successful cold email campaign, right? So this is the first bottleneck that we need to solve before we're able to even start focusing at all on the actual body and the call to action. So I actually have copy and paste the prompt that we're going to use right here. So I'm going to come in here and click copy, and then I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste this inside of here. Now you will see that there are these little quotation marks and lines here, and this is where we're going to fill this out together, and this is where you would fill it out for your specific business. Okay, so we start with today. You're going to be a world-class direct response copywriter who specializes in writing cold emails for, and then you would enter your business type here. So let's say today we want to be a loan company. Let's say we give loans to small businesses that needs them, right? So who specializes in writing cold emails for loan companies, right? We'll just put that in there, okay? Then what we'll say is, here is an example of the type of subject line that you would write. Now, I have a few videos that already cover some really great subject lines, but you want to always try to give ChatGPT an example of something that you've done previously or something somebody else has done previously, so it has kind of a framework to pull from. If not, then it's using all of its information that it has scraped from literally every single piece of knowledge up to 2021. And while that's a good thing, it could give you a endless realm of possibilities where if you already have kind of a winning formula, we'd like to stick to that first. So I'm just going to make something up here. So here's an example of the type of subject line that you would write. So I'll put quotation mark, is your business in need of cash? Okay, let's say that that's been a successful cold email subject line that we've used in the past. Okay, then we'll say, now give me 5 more subject lines that follow a similar structure. Make sure to add a lot of curiosity and interest because that's very important for subject lines. Add a line of personalization for each of those subject lines, assuming I have the company's blank I am emailing. So this is another really important part of the prompt. We like to add personalization to all of the different elements of a cold email campaign because that's going to increase open rates and response rates. If it makes it look like you actually did a little bit of research on this company, you'd be shocked at how much of a higher response rate, booking rate, and close rate you can have from these campaigns. So let's say add a line of personalization for each of those subject lines, assuming I have the company's, let's say just name, right? The company's name that I am emailing. That's the only line of personalization we have right now. So let's click enter, and ChatGPT is getting to work here. Fire company name, unlock the cash you deserve, discover the secrets of turbocharge your company name's cash flow, attention company name, how to access fast cash your business, double your business potential, company name with our cash injection, and company name, ignite your success with a powerful cash boost. Now, there's some awesome software out there like Apollo.io where you can actually create split tests. So I might select 1 or 2 of what I think is the best emails out of this and then run them simultaneously and see which one is performing the best. And a great marketer or a great copywriter is always testing against a control with at least one variation. So let's say that our main subject line that we have has an open rate at 20%. Well, then I could run a test of this one right here, and it might bring my subject line to 28%. Then once this is now the control, I'll run another test with this one right here, and that brings my subject line to 34%. So we've increased our open rate by over 50% just by testing 2 different subject lines. And of course, if you know the right prompts to ask, you can have an unlimited amount of subject lines here, okay? So I think all of these are really great. If I was actually doing this campaign, I'd probably copy this over to a separate document and store this so I could have this in reference later. And then we're gonna go back to our step-by-step guide here. And now what we need to do is create the actual email body and the call to action. So let's come back down here and just literally copy and paste the prompts that we have. We'll come back here again. We'll click paste. And then we need to change those lines. So, okay, write an email to go along with the subject lines above that convinces the business owner to book a call to speak with us so that they can grow their business accessing our loans, right? Be sure to tell them how we've helped blank other businesses, let's say 378 other businesses just like them, and we can get them access to the loan in 30 days or less at less than 7% interest rate without having to put up collateral or income verification. okay? This is where you'd really need to know your business well and know the transformation and what you're doing and what people are afraid of. The first thing that we always do is refine the offer and get to understand the offer better, because knowing the exact words to use in here, just like knowing what to ask ChatGPT, has all of the difference in the world in having a successful campaign. So I'm saying like, hey, we've helped 378 other businesses just like them, and they can get their loan in less than 30 days. They can get it at less than a 7% interest rate, which, believe it or not, would be really amazing considering the current economic situation. And they don't have to put up, the biggest fear they have is they'll have to put up collateral or income verification, okay? So add in a few lines of personalization, assuming I have the company's, let's just say, name, the owner's name, and their annual revenue, right? So let's just say those are the different lines of personalization we have, and enter. And then let's let ChatGPT do its magic. All right, so it just finished. It's quite a long email. I'm going to go through what the last step is going to be here in order to clean this up a little bit. I did notice when I was writing that it says, your name, I am a world-class direct response copywriter. So you wouldn't want to put that there. It is important that you give ChatGPT like frames of reference to let it know how it should be thinking. Because if you were to tell it, hey, you're a brand strategist who doesn't like direct response marketing, then it's not going to create the same email as you would if you said you're a world-class direct response copywriter. So I would say, my name is blank, I am a loan advisor or something like that, or I'm a small business loan advisor, something along those lines, specializing in helping businesses like yours get access to the capital they need to grow and succeed. So you have to kind of change a few things inside of there. Everything else looks really solid. I probably wouldn't change anything else in here. Very quick and easy bullet points, which I do love in emails. I will say it is a little bit long, and I probably would also have a booking link for my calendar in here, so we're not done yet. Like I said previously, just taking this ChatGPT cold email that we just had written and throwing it straight out there to the market is very unlikely to be successful for a few reasons, but one of the main reasons is that it's too long and it's too complicated, right? ChatGPT writes in like this sophisticated thing like it's some very fancy schmancy robot, and even if you're serving a fancy schmancy group of people like corporate CEOs, you still want to write stuff as a fifth grader. The simpler the language you can write, the faster they can make a decision if they want to work with you. And people don't like to think, so if you can prevent them from thinking, you're very likely to have a much higher response rate, okay? So what we're going to do is go to the Hemingway editor. This is a free app, hemingwayapp.com. And then also make sure you have Grammarly's Google Chrome extension installed. That's also something that's free. I use it as well. And I've noticed that sometimes ChatGPT has even had grammatical errors, and the combination of these two things together can really make this a successful campaign. So with that being said, let's take what we just got ChatGPT to write. So we'll take Dear Business Owner. We already have the subject line. We'll come to Hemingway editor. We'll click paste, right? So few things to know right off the bat here. The readability is grade 11, right? And it says aim for 9, but actually what we want to do is we want to aim for a 5th grade reading level. And kudos to you, bonus points if you can get to a 3rd grade reading level, all right? The second thing is that there's 415 words, and we're looking for really less than 250 words. If you can say less and make it simpler, you will always have a more successful cold email campaign, okay? And then also, maybe I'll do another video if you guys want me to on Hemingway editor, but it's pretty simple, right? It shows you the adverbs, passive voices, like if you could take one phrase and make it simpler, et cetera, et cetera. So let's walk through this together. The first thing I'd like to do is try to trim it up a little bit. So like, I hope this email finds you well and that your business is thriving. I don't like lines like that because I think it's just a waste, especially at the very beginning. So let's remove that. And we're slowly going to get us down to 250. So we know that we're not saying I'm a world-class direct response copywriter. So we'll say, I am a, small business loan specialist, specializing in helping businesses like yours. And I would just say that helps businesses like yours. Went from red to yellow. So it's red is they're very hard to read. Yellow is they're just hard to read. And so we might come through here and make this simpler. We're still grade 11. So you can just omit this word right here and it makes it simpler. I like more paragraphs. I like to space things out. I think it looks a little bit easier on the eyes to read. I'll probably just remove this. I've kind of already gotten to our call to action here. We're at 367. I think this is like a lot of words to pretty much say like, let's book a call. So I would simplify this even further too and take the same, whatever this is, probably 50 or 100 words, and say, if you're interested in getting access to this capital fast, click here to book a call or respond back with your best number. Then I can get rid of literally both of these paragraphs, So we're at 390 and now we're at 305. I think that this remember line is kind of unnecessary. I think that's unnecessary. We won't add the contact information here as well. So we're down to 264, right? Pretty good from starting. I think we're almost at 500, but we're still at grade 12. So now we need to get to a 5th grade reading level. So I know access to cash can be crucial in expanding your operations. I think investing in new opportunities is the kind of the same thing. I think this line is kind of unnecessary here. At Ravi's Loans, we've helped 378 businesses just like yours get access to capital. We specialize in providing fast, hassle-free loans, period. We can help you get access to the loan within 30 days. It's kind of saying the same thing without all this extra words inside of it. We can get you a loan at less than a 7% rate. Now we're at grade 8. Guys, we're doing it. We're doing it. Man, now we're down to 150 words. We're at reading level 8. I think it's because we're saying like no collateral or income verification. We might be able to make simpler words. Maybe if I were to say the best part is that you don't need to put up collateral or go through income verification. 6, just like that. Look at that. See, I'm a man of my word. We're gonna have to start with 6, but we started at a 12th grade reading level and we started at 500 words, and now we've brought it down to literally just 2 hard to read sentences, which I think are not that hard to read in my personal opinion. So now we have a successful cold email. We took it from ChatGPT and we made it so much simpler, so much more punchy, powerful, and easier to understand. And at this point, what we would actually do is come back over to my document here, and we'd go and finish this process by going to apollo.io, scraping the leads, uploading the emails, and creating the split test and starting to send that. Now, that's not going to be covered in this video here, but if you get access to this doc in the link below, or if you go to also link below to the other apollo.io video that I have here, you can pick up where we're leaving off.